My name is Kate Holste, and I am on the international sales team with BOVEDA. So I've been with BOVEDA for 6 years now. So I think that I tend to like pretty standard food. The one thing that people have commented on that is a little bit strange is I love ice cream, and I think chocolate sauce is too sweet, so I put balsamic vinegar on my vanilla ice cream, and I love it. So I absolutely resent paying for return shipping. I think especially during the pandemic where online shopping has been so much bigger, I will purposely avoid stores where I have to pay to return something. So I think just about any animal would be pretty cute when scaled down that size, but I have a strange goal in life to see a hippo with its mouth open, and I know they're very dangerous. So I think seeing a hippo the size of a cat with its mouth open would be probably a safer and better alternative. So if you ask my husband, he would say that I do a lot of old person things like go to bed early and crazy stuff like that. But I think probably the most notable to me is music. I love listening to music, but when I work, I cannot listen to anything with lyrics or anything. So I hardly know pop music, and I listen to a lot of like classical and film scores, which I think is kind of old, but I don't care. Probably like many people, my most expensive thing I've broken is a car. I crashed a car when I was in my 20s, and it was the first car that I owned like outright as opposed to my parents. So that was really disappointing, but I think on top of it, so obviously I have insurance. So when I crashed it, it was no big deal, but I get a couple weeks after the crash, I got a bill from the power company, and it was for replacement of a telephone pole. And that was way more expensive than the car itself. And of course, I wasn't sure at the moment if insurance covered it. So I had a bit of a panic attack when you get this like $30,000 bill for replacing a power line. So I think I own a power line pole now in my hometown. So per my last answer, since I don't listen to a ton of music that I recall, I probably like Taylor Swift or something like that, but I know the words too, but I can't honestly remember. Maybe Charlotte Cardin, a French-Canadian artist, but I couldn't tell you. Sorry. So I think during the pandemic, a lot of like awkward interpersonal interactions have been limited, but constantly I am so clumsy that I trip just when I walk with nothing else happening. I mean, I can like ride a mountain bike or, do sports, I play golf, like I can do things that require coordination, and I can hardly walk up the stairs without tripping. It's a very common occurrence. So this one's fitting for the cigar industry too. I love the smell of lighting a match. I will ignore a lighter that's next to a candle just to use a match to light it because I love the smell of lighting a match. Secret talent is, I feel like this is such a nerdy one, but I listen to audiobooks a lot because I walk the dog like twice a day, or, when I'm in the car, things like that. If I'm not on the phone, I usually listen to a book or a podcast. And I'm a little impatient, so I have trained myself to listen to them sped up. So I would say I listen like a minimum of 1.5 times the speed, but some of them, depending on the narrator or, the tone of voice that they have, I can listen to like up to 3 times the speed of what it was originally recorded, which is kind of crazy. I will say English accents are tough, and I usually have to slow those down a little bit. So I laughed when I heard this because I thought of just BOVEDA, like our 3 things, like, music, cannabis, and cigars would be the 3 things that would come out of it. But no, I think for me, my ideal would just be some sort of like tacos and margaritas. I feel like that's the best food that you can get from a food truck is tacos, and you've got to have a drink to come with it if it's going to be for adults. And I think the song playing would be Hall & Oates' "You Make My Dreams Come True," just because that's such a positive song. That being said, if it was just an ice cream truck, I'd be fine with that too, because I love ice cream. It's my favorite.